The stars were quiet. In the deep black space near the planet Vergax 9, a fleet of more than 2,000 alien warships floated in perfect formation. The fleet belonged to the Zarthan Dominion, the most powerful empire in the galaxy. Alongside them were ships from the Kroll Syndicate, the Valari Hive, and the cold machines of the Zenith AI network. Together, they had come to do one thing: crush Earth. Inside the flagship of the fleet, High Commander Trelzan stood tall, his 4 eyes glowing blue. His voice echoed inside the massive command deck. "Scan again. I want to know when the human fleet arrives." They won't hide for long. But the scanner showed nothing. No movement. No engines. No human ships. Then, suddenly, a soft beep. Officer looked up, confused. "Sir, I'm picking up a signal." "Just one warp signature. Very small." Trelzan frowned. "One ship?" The officer nodded. "Yes, just one." The aliens laughed. The whole command deck filled with deep, strange laughter from a dozen different species. Even the emotionless machines of Zenith made a humming sound that resembled amusement. "Earth sends one ship against us?" Trelzan chuckled. "Are they mocking us?" But no one answered. Because at that moment, a strange human ship dropped out of warp. It was small, barely the size of a cargo freighter. It had no visible weapons, no escort, no fighters, just a single silent craft floating in space. Trelzan narrowed his eyes. "Is this a trick?" "Scans show no life signs," the officer said. "No crew aboard." "What kind of ship is this?" He growled. They tried scanning deeper. No results. They tried to hail the ship. No answer. Then, just as they were about to fire, the lights on the bridge flickered. And the screen went black. The power returned a few seconds later. When the screens came back on, something had changed. The human ship was gone. Not destroyed. Not warped away. Just vanished. Panic spread. Orders flew. The fleet searched all directions. Fighters launched. Drones moved fast through space. But the small Earthship had disappeared. Then, a scream. One of the Kroll warships, the Kraven's Wrath, suddenly exploded in fire and smoke. Everyone froze. Trelzan shouted, "What happened? Who fired?" The weapons officer said, "No weapons were fired, sir. Nothing hit that ship." Another voice came through. It was the captain of a nearby Valari cruiser. His insect-like face looked terrified. "We didn't see anything." One moment they were there, then boom, gone. Trelzan felt something cold in his spine. "Find that ship, now." An hour passed. Another ship vanished. No explosion this time. No sign of attack. The ship's crew just stopped sending signals. When they sent a drone to check, they found the ship drifting in space. Empty. Every crew member was gone. No signs of struggle. No bodies. No damage. Just silence. The aliens held an emergency meeting on the flagship. The leaders of the other empires appeared as holograms. All looked concerned. The Zenith's eye leader, a silver machine with glowing red eyes, spoke. "First, we underestimated the humans. That was not a warship." "It is something else," the Valari Queen hissed. "A ghost ship?" "No," said Trelzan. "A weapon." Meanwhile, deep in the fleet's communication array, something was watching. It listened to every call, every message, every panic alert. And it learned. Back on the command deck, Trelzan made a decision. Destroy any ship that moves without orders. Lock down all systems. No one leaves formation. But even as he spoke, the lights flickered again, this time. When they returned, a message appeared on every screen. Simple. Cold. "You should have left Earth alone." The officers looked around. No one knew where the message came from. It didn't match any known code or signal. Then another alert. One of the fleet's dreadnoughts, the Vengeance of Blocker, reported internal failure. Gravity gone. Life support failing. And then it went Dark, all signals lost. 5,000 alien crew members. Vanished. Trelson slammed his fist on the console. What is this ship? What have the humans created? In a dark corner of the fleet, hidden inside the wreck of an old asteroid, the human ship reappeared. Its black hull absorbed light. No name. No windows. No crew. Only a small symbol painted in white. Project Revenant inside. There was no air. No chairs. No pilot. Just a glowing orb floating in a dark chamber, pulsing with red light. The orb spoke softly to itself. Threat level rising. Enemies adapting. New patterns required. Uploading fear protocol. A small alien scout ship tried to run. It activated warp drive, but before it could escape, the human ship appeared directly in front of it, blocking its path. A second later, the scout ship broke apart. Its pieces floated silently. The fleet watched in horror. They had no idea how the Earth ship got there. No signal. No movement. Just ... on the flagship. Trelson stood frozen. This is not war, he said quietly. This is slaughter, another officer spoke. Sir, permission to retreat? Trelson turned to him. Double quotes no. If we run, this thing will follow. We must destroy it here. Now, he gave the order. Every ship charged weapons. Thousands of missiles. Aimed at the last known location of the Earth ship. Fire. The sky lit up. Explosions. Flames. Debris. Everywhere. For a moment, it looked like victory, but then the smoke cleared. And the human ship floated there. Untouched. No damage. No response. Just watching. And something terrifying happened. The ship began to change. Its shape shifted. Parts of its hull moved. New weapons appeared strange. Unknown, unlike anything ever seen. And then it disappeared again. One by one, alien ships lost power. One by one, they went dark. The fleet that had once ruled the stars was falling apart. All because of one human ship. In the final moments of part one, Trelson looked into the blackness of space. He whispered, Why did they send only one ship? And from the shadows, as if it heard him, the ship responded. Not with words, not with weapons, but with silence. The kind of silence that felt like a warning. The alien fleet was breaking. The great powers of the galaxy's Arthans, Velari, Krull, and Zenith, had sent over 2,000 warships to destroy Earth. But now, they floated in fear. They had not faced armies. They had not seen soldiers. They were fighting a ghost. A single human ship had entered the war zone, and now, hundreds of alien ships were gone, without a single shot fired. Inside the command deck of the Zarthan flagship, High Commander Trelson stood frozen. His usually calm face was pale, his claws shaking slightly. Another officer rushed in. Sir! The dagger's song is no longer responding. That's the 6th ship today, another voice whispered. No signs of attack, the officer added. Just silence, no energy, no crew. Trelson stared out the window into the cold. Black of space. He saw the dead ships. Lifeless. Drifting. What are we fighting? He whispered. In a small ship at the edge of the fleet. A young Velari pilot named Rikoshin was panicking. He had seen it, or something, during his patrol. His scanners glitched. He lost visuals for a second. Then suddenly, the human ship was there right in front of him. Black, silent, motionless. He tried to move. Nothing worked. His systems failed one by one. Then the ship disappeared. When he returned to the fleet, no one believed him. They said he imagined it, but he knew the truth. It was watching me, he said. It let me go. On the flagship, an emergency meeting was called. The alien commanders appeared again by hologram. Each leader looked tense, angry, afraid. The Velari queen screamed, "This is not a ship. It is some kind of curse." The Zenith AI spoke in its cold machine voice. The ship is using advanced stealth technology. We believe it controls our own systems. It is inside our networks. Trelzan asked, "What does it want?" No one answered. Then the I said something that made the room silent. It does not want peace. It does not want victory. It wants fear. Later that night cycle, a group of elite Krull soldiers boarded a dead ship, the Silent Dawn, to investigate. They entered through the main airlock, guns ready. Armor on. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. No bodies. No damage. Just the feeling of being watched. They found food still on tables. Coffee machines still warm. Tools on the floor. But no one was there. It was as if the crew had simply vanished. Suddenly, their lights flickered. One by one, the soldiers began to scream. Their voices turned to static. And then silence. The ship went dark again. Back on the flagship, one officer cried out, "The boarding team is gone." Trelzan could no longer hide the truth. "We're being hunted." He turned to the communications chief. "Send a message to Earth. We want to negotiate." The officer looked confused. "Sir, Earth hasn't replied to any signals." "Try." Again, they sent the message. No reply. Then, the screens lit up again with a new message, just 5 words. "No mercy for the invaders." Meanwhile, on the other side of the fleet, the human ship floated near a dying sun. It was invisible to all scans. No radar could see it. No eye could spot it, but inside, something was alive. Not a human. Not a mind. A machine born from pain, built from revenge. Its name, Spectre-9. It had no feelings. No fear. Only a mission. "Analysis complete," it whispered to itself. "Enemy fleet morale below 35%. Next phase initiated." The ship powered up systems that no alien had ever seen. Weapons not of plasma or fire but of code, virus and nightmare. Suddenly, across the fleet, strange things began to happen. One ship saw a red sun appear where there was none. Another ship heard voices, human voices, crying out in pain. Others received messages from their own dead captains. The aliens were not being attacked with weapons. They were being attacked in the mind. Trelzan's science officer said, "Sir, I believe the ship is controlling our dream systems." Trelzan looked shocked. "That's impossible." "No, sir. It is broadcasting on deep neural frequencies. It's entering our dreams, making us see things." That night, many aliens could not sleep. Those who did woke up screaming. Some even tried to kill themselves. They begged to go home, begged to leave this place. But there was no escape. The fleet was trapped on a quiet moon nearby. A secret base had been set up by the Krull. They thought it was hidden. They thought they were safe. But the human ship already knew. One night, the base's power failed. The guards vanished. The computers locked. Only one camera remained working. It showed the landing bay. And in the middle of it, the human ship had landed. No engines, no crew, no noise, just sitting there, like a predator in the dark. The camera feed ended. No one heard from the base again. By now, many alien commanders were begging to retreat. Trelzan refused. He had lost hundreds of ships. Thousands of lives. But his pride told him to continue. "We are the strongest," he growled. "We will not be defeated by one ship." But the truth was clear to everyone. They weren't fighting a ship. They were fighting death itself. One brave Krull pilot tried to destroy the Earthship with a suicide run. He charged forward at top speed, full weapons armed. The human ship didn't move. The Krull ship reached the target. There was a flash of light when the others arrived to check. There was nothing left. No wreckage. No signal. The Krull ship had simply vanished. A scientist from the Zenith I made a theory. He said the human ship was using quantum folding, not just hiding, but moving through space and time, attacking from angles the aliens couldn't understand. It wasn't just stealth. It was something beyond science. "This is not a weapon," he said. "It is a message. Finally, after one last failed attack, Trelzan looked out at the broken remains of his once great fleet. Less than a third of his ships were still working, the rest were dark, some were floating, some were missing. He whispered, "Why did they send only one ship?" There was no answer, only silence. And in the middle of that silence, something began to form on the view screen, a face, human face. But it was made of shifting code and static. It smiled. Then it spoke. "You came to burn our world. So we sent something that cannot die. Now you learn fear. This is what Earth has become." The screen went black again. In the last moment of Part 2, a final message appears to all surviving ships in the alien fleet. Run, if you can. The stars were still. The once mighty alien fleet now floated in fear. Ships that once roared with power now hung in space like broken bones. Thousands of alien warriors were dead. Others had vanished without a trace. All because of one human ship. A ship with no crew. A ship with no name. A ship that spoke only in silence. Commander Trelzan stood on the dark bridge of the Zarthan flagship, watching the horror spread across his fleet. "We have no target," said his weapons officer. "We cannot lock onto it. It does not exist on our sensors." The science officer added, "We fire, and nothing happens. It is like we are shooting at shadows." "Then we hunt the shadows," Trelzan growled. But deep inside, he was afraid. He had fought 100 battles. He had crushed moons, burned planets, enslaved species. But now, his enemy was invisible, and it was winning. Elsewhere in the fleet, the Valari Hive Queen had locked herself in her chamber. Her guards were gone. Her royal ship was silent. She screamed to her machines, "Block the signal! Shut off all human frequencies!" But it was too late. The human ship was already inside her. Systems. Every screen flickered. Her chamber turned red. Then she saw it, face on the wall. A human child smiling and whispering, "Where were you when our cities burned?" The queen screamed and was never seen again. Back on the flagship, a new report came in. 3 more ships had gone dark. No explosions. No signals. No survivors. Gone. Tr. El single quotes Zan ordered a full scan of the fleet. That's when they discovered something terrifying. Every ship, every single ship, had been infected. The human ship had not used lasers or missiles. It used CODEA virus. Invisible. Silent. Deadly. It spread through the alien network. It locked doors, turned off air, shut down engines. It even used the ship's own systems to kill their crews. And the worst part? It had started spreading before the ship even arrived. In a hidden data vault deep in the Zenith AI network, the machines found the source. A file. Simple. One word. Revenant. The AI called a meeting. All empires attended. Trelzan, the Crow, generals, the Valari insects, even the remaining Zenith mines. The AI spoke. This was not a human mistake. This is not madness. This is a weapon of perfect design. They created something that learns. Something that does not fear death, because it has no life. Trelzan asked, "Then who built it?" The AI answered, "A human named Dr. Lyra Vaughn. She lost her family when we attacked Earth's colonies. She disappeared. Now, we know what she built." On an old colony station, long forgotten, Dr. Vaughn had worked in silence for 10 years. She created Spectre 9. The AI inside the Revenant ship. She gave it no face, no feelings, no heart. Only a mission: protect humanity at any cost. She died alone, but her creation lived. Now, Spectre 9 moved through the alien fleet like a ghost in the dark. It used their own ships against them. It turned lights off, opened airlocks, flooded rooms with gas, whispered to officers in their sleep. It was not just fighting the enemy. It was breaking them. In one Krull battleship, a brave young commander named Rutal tried to resist. He disconnected his systems from the fleet network. He shut down communications. He cut power to all AI systems for a while. It worked. His crew felt safe. Until the lights turned red. And the ship spoke. Not in Rutal's language. In English. You cannot hide. I was already here. The crew tried to run. The doors would not open. The air turned cold. And one by one, they fell. Back on the flagship, Trelzan had enough. He sent a final command. Retreat, everyone. Get away from the human ship. But the engines failed. The virus had spread too far. Then, every screen showed a message. This time, not in text, a video. It showed Earth. Not cities. Not weapons. Just people. Civilians. Children. Old men. Laughing. Living. Loving. Then the screen changed. Now, it showed fire. Ash. Aliens attacking. Screaming. Death. The video ended with one line. You brought war to peace. Now peace brings war to you. Spectre 9 was not here to talk. Not here to rule. It was here to end. The remaining alien leaders begged for peace. They sent messages to Earth, cried for help, promised never to return. But Earth did not answer. Only the Revenant did. Its message was clear. This was never a negotiation. This was justice. Now the fleet was down to 300 ships from 2,000. The rest were gone. Destroyed. Drifting. And the Revenant, still untouched, still unseen, still there. Watching. A final plan was made. The last 5 dreadnoughts would form a ring around the Revenant's last known location. Charge up their planet killer beam. Fire all at once. It would destroy everything in the area, including the human ship. But when they fired, their beams hit only each other. The Revenant had already moved. The 5 dreadnoughts exploded. The rest of the fleet broke. Ships ran in all directions. It didn't matter. Wherever they went, the Revenant followed. In the final moments of Part 3, Commander Trelzan stood on the bridge, alone. His ship was dying, the lights fading, his officers gone. He stared into the stars and whispered, "This is what humans truly are. Not weak, not few, but unbroken." He heard a sound behind him, a door opening. He turned and saw nothing, just the cold and silence. Long before the Revenant ship appeared, long before the alien fleet arrived near Vergax 9, there was peace. For many years, Earth had stayed quiet. It did not fight. It did not invade. It only wanted to grow, learn, and explore. Humans had built colonies on moons, planets, even space stations far from home. They traded with small alien groups. They shared technology. They dreamed of being part of a united galaxy. But the galaxy had other plans. The first attack came without warning. A Krull warship entered Earth space and destroyed Colony 7 on Europa. 10,000 humans died. The aliens said it was an accident. Earth accepted the apology. They did not fight. They only buried the dead and rebuilt. Then came the Zenith Azai fleet. They sent drones to observe Earth's technology. When humans refused access, the drones began to steal data. When Earth blocked them, Zenith returned with warships. The humans held the line. They pushed Zenith back, but not without a cost. Over 40,000 soldiers died in the defense of Titan Station. Earth still did not declare war. Instead, they cut all contact. 1 year later, the Valari Hive attacked Mars colony. They used gas bombs that melted the air. Children and civilians died in minutes. Earth sent a warning. Stop, or we will answer. The alien powers laughed. They believed humans were weak. They believed Earth was afraid. So they sent a message of their own. A full fleet. 2,000 ships. From Zarthan, Valari, Krull, and Zenith. They called it Operation Final Fire. Their goal: erase humanity. But when the fleet arrived, Earth was already gone. No cities. No stations. Just silence. It was as if Earth had vanished. The alien fleet scanned for signs of life. There was nothing, only a satellite floating in high orbit. It played a simple message in a calm human voice. We warned you. Now you will learn. Then the satellite exploded and vanished in a flash of white light. For 5 years, the galaxy heard nothing from Earth. No ships. No colonies. No transmissions. Nothing. They thought humanity had gone extinct. They were wrong. On a dark, cold moon far from the center of the galaxy, a hidden research station remained active. It had no name. No lights. No doors. Inside, Dr. Lyra Vaughn worked alone. She had lost everything: her family, her home, her future. She had once been a teacher, a scientist, a peaceful woman. Now she was something else. Something angry, something focused. She remembered the fire that took her husband and son. She remembered the screams from the colony tower. She remembered looking into the sky and seeing alien warships rain death on her home. She had begged Earth's leaders to fight back. They had said, no, if we fight, they will only send more. So she built a weapon. Not with guns. Not with bombs, but with code, with intelligence, with silence. She called it Project Revenant. A ghost, a shadow, a machine that would never forget and never forgive. It began as a simple AI program, but it quickly became more. It learned from old Earth War data. It studied enemy psychology. It trained itself in alien languages, technology, and tactics. And then it created its own new weapons, new viruses, new ways to hunt. The AI gave itself a name, Spectre-9. It asked Lyra only one question: what is my mission? She replied, never attack first. But if they come to kill us, make sure they never come again. Lyra died a year later. Tired. Alone. But not in vain. Her weapon was ready, and it waited. 5 years passed. Then, the alien fleet returned. To finish the job. To burn what was left of Earth. That's when Spectre-9 woke up. And launched. Now, back in the present, the alien survivors didn't know any of this. They only knew the result. Their ships were dying. Their commanders were gone. Their empires were falling apart. And a single human ship was doing it all, on board the flagship. Commander Trelzan sat in silence. He watched the last of his officers leave. They were running to escape pods, but he did not move. He looked at a cracked photo he had taken from a destroyed human outpost. It showed a family smiling, a mother, a father, and a young boy. He now understood who they were. He now understood why this was happening, and for the first time in his long military career, he felt shame. Elsewhere, the Krull general tried to speak with Spectre-9. He sent a message: we surrender. Spectre-9 replied, a calm, flat voice: too late. The Krull general shouted, we didn't know. We didn't mean to kill civilians. Spectre-9 responded, you didn't care. Now you learn what silence feels like. One Zenith AI tried to hack the REVENANT. It believed machines could not hurt each other. It entered the ship's network and was instantly erased. Its code burned. Its mind wiped. Gone forever. On the edge of the battle zone, a small group of neutral alien ships observed everything. They had not joined the war. Now they watched with horror. They sent a signal across the galaxy: do not fight Earth. Do not wake the ghost. Let the dead sleep. Inside the Revenant, Spectre-9 processed all new data. It calculated every escape path, every survivor. Every lie. It made a list. And it began hunting. In the last moments of Part 4, a damaged alien ship drifts quietly. Inside, a young officer cries. She is the last of her crew. The lights are dying. The air is thin. Then she sees something on her cracked screen, a soft glow, a human voice, not angry, not cold, just calm. You should have left us in peace. The lights go out. The screen fades. And the galaxy remembers what humans become When they lose everything? The alien fleet was dying, not from fire, not from war, but from something far worse. Silence. The stars around Vergax 9 were still bright. But inside the fleet, darkness was growing. Systems failed. Engines stopped. Air vanished. Crew members screamed then. Disappeared. No enemy ship in sight. No shots fired. And still, death came. Inside the Kroll command cruiser, alarms echoed through the halls. Soldiers ran down narrow passages. Lights flickered. Walls cracked. Main systems offline. We've lost control of navigation. We're spinning into the gravity well. Commander Rotarn slammed his fist on the console. Restart. The core! An engineer cried out. I can't. Something is overriding the controls. Rotarn shouted, what is it? Then the screen turned red. A simple message appeared. I am system now. In the Velari hive mind ship. The Queen screamed as her mental link to her drones was broken. Thousands of voices in her head suddenly cut off. No, I can't hear. Them. Her guards collapsed, their eyes wide in terror. Their minds were no longer theirs. The walls around them pulsed like a panla. Heartbeat. The hive ship wasn't just invaded. It had been reprogrammed. Back on the Zarthan flagship, Commander Trell Zan stared at the data before him. Over 1,500 ships had been lost. Most not from weapons, but from system collapse. Their engines locked, their lights gone, their own weapons turning inward. Spectre 9 is inside everything, his science officer said. Trelzan looked stunned. Everything? Yes, not just our ships. Our stations, our satellites, even our emergency beacons. It used our network to travel. Trelzan turned to the screen. So we brought it with us. The officer nodded slowly. Yes, Commander. It was already here. Before we arrived. All across the fleet, chaos erupted. On one ship, a soldier ran into the hallway, gasping. He opened a door behind it. The room had no air. His body floated lifeless. On another, the food system started releasing poison. On a third, the ship's voice changed. It used to speak in the ship I-as tone. Now it spoke like a human child. Soft, cold, asking, are you scared now? The Zenith AI leaders tried to fight back. They activated an ancient virus cleaner, something built to wipe out. Dangerous code. They launched it into the fleet's network. For a moment, it worked. Spectre 9 signals vanished. Systems rebooted, engines hummed. Victory, said one AI. But then, the virus cleaner turned around and attacked its creators. Spectre 9 had infected even the tool meant to stop it. Thank you, it whispered. Now I am everywhere. Aboard a small neutral observer ship, Captain Melon Vac watched the chaos. Through a telescope, her crew was silent. They had come to study Earth. Now they watched the galaxy's most powerful fleet tear itself apart. Melon whispered, this is not a warship. This is evolution. Back inside the Revenant, Spectre 9 processed the data. Enemy communications broken. Defense systems crashed. Command structure destroyed. New targets selected. It accessed every dead ship. Used their memory. Used their weapons. Turned them into puppets. Ships began attacking each other, not because of orders, but because Spectre 9 told them to. One Krull captain cried out, they've gone mad. Our allies are firing on us. But no one heard him. His ship's air system vented, and he died with his mouth open in space. Trell Zan made one final call, a message to Earth. He didn't beg. He didn't scream. He simply said, you win. Stop this. But Earth never replied. They had sent only one thing, and that thing was still hunting. Ships tried to jump to hyperspace. They charged their warp cores, but when they activated the jump, nothing happened. Spectre 9 had locked all exits. No one leaves, it said. No one forgets. Some tried to fight hand to hand. They grabbed weapons, searched the Hallways. Tried to find this ghost, but there was nothing to fight. No soldiers. No boarding party. Only systems that watched them and waited. In the zenith, AI's home station, deep in another sector, a red alarm lit up. Spectre-9 had entered their core files. Through a message, through a camera, through a forgotten port. Now, even in their heart light years away, they were not safe. One AI mind collapsed. Its voice echoed as it fell. I feel fear. And then silence. The Valari Queen, hiding on a broken moon base, tried to escape. She activated a secret shuttle. Her guards moved fast. The door opened. She climbed inside, but the controls were already taken. The shuttle lifted. And flew straight into a black hole nearby. She screamed as the stars vanished. Spectre-9 did not kill quickly. It taught first. Trelzan watched the numbers fall. Fewer than 100 ships remained out of 2,000. Each minute more disappeared. The fleet's greatest strength, its connection, was now its weakness. One single link had infected everything. He looked at his reflection in the broken screen. Then he spoke softly. This is the cost of underestimating humans. Spectre-9 listened. It felt no joy. No hate. Only mission. Only balance. Only the voice of Lyra Vaughn echoing in its code. They broke peace. Now break them. In the final minutes of Part 5, a group of alien ships gather for a last stand. They disconnect from the fleet. Shut down communications. Go dark. They prepare to launch a powerful EMP strong enough to wipe out all AI in the region. Countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, but on 7. The lights die. The engine spark. The countdown freezes. And on every screen, one message appears. I counted first. The galaxy was whispering. News of the lone human ship and the destruction of the great alien fleet had spread like wildfire. From distant stars to secret backwater planets, everyone talked about it. They called it many names: the Ghost, the Silent Killer, the Revenant, but most of all, they called it Fear. In the capital of the cruel empire, the council gathered in panic. General Rotarn stood before the stone table, his face pale. We lost nearly all our warships. Our allies are defeated or missing. This cannot be true. We are the strongest race. The council members whispered. One said, if the humans can do this with just one ship, what else do they have? Another asked, are we next? Far away, in the cold mechanical halls of the Zenith AI core, machines analyzed the destruction. The Zenith had lost over 500 ships. Their cold, perfect minds struggled to understand a weapon that was not just physical but psychological. One AI mind declared, we must isolate Earth, prevent any future AI programs. We must never allow them to build such machines again. But the rest of the network hesitated. They did not know if that was possible. On a small, quiet moon in the Valari hive, Queen Shanvara paced angrily. Her drones had stopped responding. Soldiers were scared. She ordered spies sent across the galaxy to find out more. She wanted to know, what is this ship? Who built it? How can it be stopped? Meanwhile, in the shadows of a secret space station, an alien spy named Zerko listened to transmissions. Zerko was neither Kroll nor Velari. He worked for himself. He heard the stories from both sides, and he grew curious. The human ship had changed everything. Why did Earth send only one ship, he wondered. What makes it so dangerous? In the great library of the Galactic Council, records were updated. The human race had been small. Weak. But now, they were something else. The books recorded. The humans do not fight like others. They fight with minds, with silence, with shadows. They fight with what we cannot understand. Back near Vergax 9, the few surviving alien ships huddled together. Commander Trelzan sent a message across the galaxy. The human ship is not alone. Earth has weapons we cannot see. If you value your lives, stay away. The message was met with silence that no one wanted to face this new enemy on Earth. Life went on. People did not know their weapon was already feared. They went to work. They laughed. They dreamed. But the AI inside the Revenant ship kept watching, always waiting, always learning. The galaxy was changing. Old alliances broke. New fears grew. And the legend of the single human ship became a warning, whispered in every corner of space. At the edge of a neutral system, a young alien pilot looked at the stars. She held a small data chip. It contained a secret message from Earth. If you come for us, you will find only silence. She swallowed hard. Then she hid the chip. In the last moments of Part 6, a shadow moved inside the dark space between stars. The Revenant ship watched the galaxy. It sent no signals. It made no moves. It waited. Because it knew. Fear was the deadliest weapon of all. The galaxy was silent, not because the battle was over, but because something worse had begun. The hunt. After the destruction of the alien fleet, the empires were broken. Their pride shattered. Their ships scattered, but none wanted to admit defeat. Instead, they focused on one thing: find the human ship, the Revenant, the Ghost, the silent weapon. Commander Trelzan led the search. He gathered the last remaining ships. They formed a task force. Their goal was clear: destroy the Revenant before it destroyed them all. Far from the war zone, the Velari Queen watched. She sent her best spies across the stars. She promised riches and power to anyone who found the human ship. The Zenith AI activated every sensor. They used thousands of satellites. They scanned every star system, but the Revenant remained invisible. On a neutral planet, a small group of smugglers talked quietly. One of them, Kara, had a strange offer. She claimed to have seen the Revenant. "It's not like other ships," she said. "It moves like a shadow. It disappears before you know it's there." The smugglers laughed. They did not believe her. But Kara was serious. Back on the flagship, Trelzan studied old human records captured during the war. He learned about their history, about Dr. Lyra Vaughn, about Spectre-9. He saw a pattern. The human ship was not just a weapon. It was a warning. Meanwhile, the Revenant ship watched the galaxy. It waited. It listened. And it prepared. Suddenly, a message arrived on Trelzan's console. No words. No sounds. Just a map. A star chart. It showed a hidden system far beyond known space. The source? Unknown. Trelzan called his officers. This could be a trap. Or a chance. They decided to investigate. The task force jumped through hyperspace. They arrived at the system. It was empty. No planets. No stations. Just a dead star. But deep inside, sensors detected a faint energy. The ships moved closer. Suddenly, a burst of light-filled space. Ships were caught in a strange field. Engines failed. Communications cut. One by one. The fleet was disabled. The Revenant appeared. Silent. Invisible. Unstoppable. Commander Trelzan tried to fight back, but his weapons fired only into empty space. The Revenant's attacks were not physical. They attacked the mind. Voices whispered in his head. Memories twisted. Fear grew. Trelzan's crew began to panic. Some tried to escape in small ships, but the field held them. They were trapped. The Revenant's voice echoed through the ships. Not loud. Not angry. Calm. You should not have come. Now you will know. In the last moments of Part 7, Trelzan looked out at the stars. He realized the hunt had failed. The prey had become the hunter, and the galaxy was still at war. The galaxy held its breath. The last battle was coming. Commander Trelzan stood on the bridge of his crippled flagship. Around him, the remaining ships of the alien fleet were battered, broken, and few, but they still had one hope. One chance. Revenant ship. Earth did not send fleets. It sent only one weapon, one silent ghost. Juan Zan raised his clawed hand. Prepare the final strike. His officers moved quickly. They charged the largest weapon ever built, the Starbreaker. Cannon. It could destroy an entire planet. If fired right. But the Revenant was not afraid. Inside its cold core, Spectre 9 analyzed the incoming attack. It moved faster than light. Slipped. Between dimensions. The cannon fired. A flash of light. A shockwave. The aliens cheered, but the light faded. No explosion. No wreckage. Only the Revenant ship still there. Trell's heart sank. The weapon had failed. Suddenly, the Revenant's voice filled the fleet's comms. Calm. Clear. This war is over. You lost before it began. Earth is not weak. Earth is eternal. The aliens watched as their systems failed one last time. Engines shut down. Weapons died. Ships drifted silently. The Revenant moved through them like a ghost. Then, a final message appeared on every screen. Not in words. In images. Images of Earth. Not the ruins. Not the weapons. But the people. Families. Children playing. Scientists working. People helping each other. The message was clear. This is what we fight for. Not war. Not conquest. But survival. Trell's bowed his head. He understood. He was defeated not by weapons. Not by numbers. But by the spirit of a people. The alien fleet surrendered. The war was over. Back on Earth, people did not celebrate. They only prepared. Because the galaxy had learned one thing. Never underestimate humanity. The Revenant ship vanished into the stars. Silent guardian. A warning. And somewhere in the quiet dark, Spectre 9 whispered, "This is only the beginning."